What's going on, guys? Anthony back with Metal Miners. As Mark G says, another video. Oh my goodness, man, it's been a while. I am so far behind, but I'm needing to catch up. I want to slow things down this morning just a little bit. Do a video that may not be appealing to everyone. Drives Cody crazy. I'm talking about doing some of the slower doomy stuff, some funeral doom, some stuff like that. In the background, a little bit faster than funeral doom, straight up death doom from Orlando, Florida. Druid Lord with Relics of the Dead. This is their new release. Came out this year on Hell's Headbangers. There's the track list in there. If you're not familiar with Druid Lord, they're a four-piece. Like I say, from Orlando, Florida. These boards have been at it since 2010, and this is their third full length. Just great stuff. You hear it playing in the background. Get 8 tracks on this one. A little over 41 minutes of music. Super cool stuff. Like I said, came out on Hell's Headbangers. There's the hype sticker, if you can read it. 400 copies. Super stuff. If you haven't heard of these guys, check them out in the background. I'm sure you will like it. Now, slowing things down a little bit. Funeral Doom. Either you love it or you hate it. I can see where that would be, but I guess it's because I'm older. I really enjoy it. I guess it develops patience. Let's put it that way. Without further ado and my rambling on, let's jump right in. Here's one that everybody will recognize by the cover. It's Bell Witch with Mirror Reaper. This one came out in 2017 on Profound Lore. This thing actually opens backwards, so you would think it would open this way, but it opens this way. It messes me up every time, and you get the full art there on the back. Just soak that in. Super stuff. Of course, this art is by Mariusz Lewandowski, who passed earlier this year. Funeral Doom out of Seattle, Washington. If you're not familiar with these guys, 2-piece band. This is no guitars on here, just bass and drums and company and stuff. No guitars. 2-piece. You get 83 minutes of music on this bad boy with one song. Yeah, one song. It comes on double vinyl. Just brilliant white. It builds and it builds and it builds. I mean, it's just something that the only bad thing about having it on vinyl is, you got to get up and flip it over. I mean, to be honest with you, I listen to probably 75% of my music digitally, because I'm always in the truck, I'm always gone. Very rare do I get to sit down in here and listen to music. My wife works at night, I work during the day, so. But you put it on Spotify, or if you have it on CD, and you just put it on, and it just takes you to another place, man. Great stuff, Bell Witch. And if you're into Bell Witch, their latest release from 2020 was actually a collaboration with Arial. So you get the best of Bell Witch, and you get a guitar and a guest vocalist thrown in there, mostly acoustic guitar. If you're not familiar with Arial Ruin, that is Eric Mogridge, who had that dark folk band, Arial Ruin. He's no stranger to the folks at Bell Witch. He's did backing vocals on that album that we just looked at. Comes out of California. These guys are out of Washington. Adam Burke did this killer art. Man, Adam Burke is busy, isn't he? You have the flavor of Bell Witch with the bass and drums that they've always had, and then you have this guitar and these vocals from this dark folk angle, you know, it meshes together well. I mean, if you haven't heard this, you need to check it out. You get 5 tracks on this one, a little over an hour of music. Like I say, it's super stuff. If you want to check it out, here's your opportunity to go check it out and let me know what you think of that. I really enjoy it, but you know, I'm easy to please. Let's see what kind of vinyl this one came on. This one came on just black, not a whole lot to see here, but it's got some pretty center labels. There you go. Stygian Bow Volume 1 is the name of that one, so I'm assuming maybe there'll be a Volume 2 at some point in the game, I would hope. Moving right along, these guys classify themselves on Metal Archives as Epic Doom. And this one's kind of dark, but this will be Godthrymm. The name of the album is Reflections. That art is by Brian D'Augusta. It is kind of dark, folks. I apologize, but that's just the way it is. 2020, this one came out on Profound Lore. These guys are out of the UK, a 3-piece with some veterans of the scene. You get 8 tracks on this one, about 54.5 minutes of music. These guys have been at it since 2017 and had a couple EPs leading up to this, one in 18 and one in 19. If you're not familiar with these guys, you know, some past members from Solstice, My Dying Bride, some heavy hitters on here. Sasquatch Bob plays bass on this, believe it or not. Super stuff. I mean, if you're a fan of Paradise Lost, Solitude Eternus, you'll like this. It's got some growly vocals, but not a death metal growl, just a deep back in the back of the throat vocal. It's got some female vocals, guest vocals by Catherine Glencross does the female vocals and the keyboards on here. Then it's got some clean parts. It's musically, it's a masterpiece in my opinion. It's got some soaring guitar solos, especially on the tune We Are the Dead. Man, the solo on there is killer. You'll recognize some of the artists on here. Hamish is on here. I forget the other guy's name that plays drums, but he's a veteran of the scene too. Super stuff. If you haven't heard of Godthrymm, you need to check that out. It comes on a double vinyl as well. Black. I don't think there's anything spectacular to see there. There's the center rings. Both of them are the same pretty well. A little bit faster than the Funeral Doom. I guess I don't know what makes it epic, but maybe it's the vocals. But like I say, good stuff. If you haven't, check them out. Next one, veterans, probably the heavy hitters out of the stack. Everybody will recognize Mournful Congregation. This actually came out in 2009 on Weird Truth Records or Productions did the CD. This is a 2022 reissue on Osmos for Europe. $20 spin here for the States. Funeral Doom, Mournful Congregation, the June Frost. No nod to the artist that I could find, but it could be in here and you need just to be looking over it. There's the guys there. Of course, they're a 3-piece. You get 8 tracks on here, a little over an hour of music. Veterans of the scene from Australia. If you're into Funeral Doom, everybody's heard of Mournful Congregation. If you haven't, this is your lucky day. This was their 3rd LP, and I was super glad to get it. This thing hadn't been, I think this is the first reissue in a long time, if ever. Look at the titles and you can see what you're getting into. Suicide Choir, June Frost, Descend into Flames, Solemn Strikes the Funeral Chime. I don't know if you can see those, but you get 8 tracks on here, a little over an hour. Absolutely wonderful. This is great stuff. I've got several of their albums, but this one has got to be making its way up on my favorite list. Just black vinyl, not a whole lot to see there. Mournful Congregation, absolutely wonderful stuff. Like I say, Cody's not into funeral doom, and I get it. I mean, it's not for every day, man, but sometimes you need just to kick back and relax and just let it take you away, and it does a great job of that. Last but not least, here's one that I'm super glad to have, and that's Evoken. Again, that's Adam Burke art there. It looks like a picture, but if you had it, could look at it. I guess this is pronounced Hypnagogia is the name of the album. This is 2018 release on Profound Lore. There's the back cover. The gatefold. There's the guys on the inside there. You can see it's 5-piece out of New Jersey. You get 8 tracks on there. Again, just a little bit over an hour of music. These guys have been at it since '94 actually. Before that they were actually active under a couple of different names, but as Evoken, they've been at it since '94, and this is their 6th full length and their latest full length. You get clean vocals, you get growls, you get spoken word. Instrumentally, as far as music wise, it's exceptional. You even get a violin in there. A solid listen. If you haven't heard of Evoken, this one's readily available. You can find it at Profound Lore and some other different places. They got the name from the legendary band, how do you say that, Godthrymm. Their demo had a song on it entitled Evoken, and that's where they picked the name up. Super stuff. If you haven't heard, this one's probably, if you're trying to get into funeral doom, this one's probably a little bit more accessible. You know, you get more tracks, not as drawn out. It'd be a good entry point for somebody trying to get into doomy stuff. You know, these guys and stuff like a funeral leech and stuff like that would be good. Again, if you weren't able to get this Stygian bow, there it is. Hope you guys like this playing in the background. It's actually on a green and blue swirl there. Let me show it to you one more time. Druid Lord out of Orlando. Go get you a copy. I showed y'all this on tape a while back, but I finally got the vinyl copy. Probably give the tape away to some one of my friends or something. Super stuff. Y'all have a great day. I'm gonna try to get this one up to be out on Saturday. I hope I'm able to do it. Had some problems lately. My dog's been sick, man. It's been a mess. Appreciate y'all. Take care of each other. We'll see you.